Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Pearls of Wisdom. And before this totally turns into just a spirituality channel, I must make a video on my greatest passion in life other than spirituality, which is environmentalism and sustainability. I think I should just share my journey because I've been on the path of being an environmentalist consciously for almost 10 years. I've only been on the spiritual path for 5 years, the spiritually conscious, but I've been eco-conscious, environmentally conscious, knew that this is what I wanted to do with my career ever since I was in high school. So I think I'll just share my journey, and I am hoping to make many more videos on this channel about what I'm doing now, native plants, how you can be more sustainable at home. I don't know. There's just so many topics. And so I just find myself at a crossroads between, wanting to be a spiritual YouTuber and then wanting to be an environmental YouTuber. And then kind of realizing that people who are spiritually awakened also care about the earth. Like, it's not just me. So I am really excited to be hopefully posting more videos about the environment because that is my true calling. That is my true passion. That is my life purpose. So let's get into it. How did I get there? How did I get here? Where am I in terms of being an environmental activist and saving the planet? Let's find out. America, the globe, has known we are in a climate crisis. And then, here we are 20, 30 years later, living the nightmare, as, some people would say. I would say it's really the planet just recalibrating and balancing itself out. The earth will survive. And whether humanity survives, that is up to us. Right? So that's where I come in. That's where I am here. That's where I have found my mission. I watched An Inconvenient Truth. It really sounded the alarms for me that we are in a crisis and we need to do something about it. So that made deciding what I wanted to study in college very easy. Environmental studies, duh. And then once I kind of started taking some of those classes, I realized that environmentalism has so many different intersections. You can do environmental science, you can do environmental policy, you can do environmental justice, you can do environmental art. Environment is so just intersected with every other sector, right? And so I needed to find what my niche was, right? Like, you can't just be an environmentalist. Like, that's too broad. Every environmentalist is going to have their journey of how they found their specific niche. And where I am today is totally not what I expected, right? The path had twists and turns, but so I went into environmental policy. I chose legal studies as my second major, and so I double majored in environmental studies and legal studies, and I thought I wanted to be an environmental lawyer. I thought that would be the way for me to make the biggest impact, would be to be in the legal system, because who has the power in America? The institutions and systems that we already have in place, such as the judicial system, where, people can sue corporations for all the environmental damages that they perpetuate. And I thought that would be great, and so on and so forth. I end up taking the legal studies major and realize that's not for me. I am not one to argue. Just in general as well, I just hate arguing. I found that everyone in my classes were very type A, very competitive, very cutthroat. And I think that is totally the attitude that you need to get into law school, and then to go to law school, and then to become a lawyer. And so I saw from very early on that was not going to be the path for me, right? But there's many ways you could still influence environmental policy without becoming a lawyer. So I decided, I was still going to pursue policy, but maybe I would be working for the state. Maybe I would be working for a city. Maybe I would be working for a county. And so I thought I was going to be a government girly, and I did many internships. I interned for a congressperson's re-election campaign. I worked on multiple campaigns, actually. Worked for the city, for a city's like water department. I worked for a nonprofit doing advocacy work on nuclear policy, which was very interesting to kind of dive into the energy sector. I kind of dove into the water sector. And so I was dipping my toes into all these different things, different places. Okay, policy is still pretty broad, even if it's environmental. You know, you could go into renewable energy, you could go into water, you could go into transportation. There's so many different scales of government. What do you do? What do you do, right? Like, I'm just a girl. Then I realize how slow our legal system truly is, especially at the federal level, especially at the state level. Things move so slowly. You could spend your entire career working on a bill that then gets rejected, doesn't pass, and then what did you do with your career, you know? So I decided I wanted to think locally. I wanted to think smaller scale, where impact and change can happen a lot faster, right? And so I decided to go into urban planning and environmental planning. I thought cities are the answer. Cities are local. Cities have connections to their constituents, to their communities. Yes, they have less money and less resources. And I just thought it would be the perfect place to create environmental change. Is like, we need to think smaller, because environmentalism and ecology is hyper local to whatever area you're in. The climate solutions are going to look different if you're by the coast, or if you're in the mountains, or if you're in the desert. Your local ecosystem is local. It varies wherever you are in the world. So climate solutions are going to look different wherever in the world you are. So environmental policy, environmental planning, urban planning. I'm gonna be a planner, right? Right. In the midst of getting my master's degree in urban planning, I start volunteering at a community garden in my local neighborhood. This community garden was something special. It had 12 different plant communities local to where I live, the region where I'm from. And it was founded 25 years ago. I saw a photo of when it first started. It was literally a concrete parking lot. I said, how did these people turn a concrete parking lot into this beautiful, thriving community garden that has multiple events that are free for the community each week, going on consistently, where people can come and volunteer and people can come and meet each other? Like, I just had the most fulfilling time of my life in the community garden. I would go on Monday nights for the potlucks. I would go on Saturday mornings for the volunteering. And the people that it would draw there were people who cared about the environment, people who wanted to find community, and people who wanted to get their hands in the dirt and do something about the climate crisis. Because, geez, at the end of the day, the media perpetuates so much doom and gloom. But, you know, if you just went and worked in a garden for a few hours, you actually would feel quite good. You would actually feel quite refreshed. You would actually feel like you did something positive for the environment, for the world, for yourself, for your ecosystem, for your community. And so I got to experience these benefits firsthand of what it's like to finally meet your neighbors after so many years of my life not knowing who the hell I lived next to. Community gardens brings the neighborhood together, because the neighborhood is then centered around this garden, where it is a space for people to come and meet and mingle and share stories and share resources. It's a hub for creativity. It draws in artists, musicians. We would have jam sessions. I think at this point the video is becoming about community gardens. But anyways, there's just so many freaking benefits to community gardens that I ended up writing my whole master's thesis on community garden nonprofits in the city where I lived. I just was so inspired by the work that they were doing, and it was boots on the ground work. I didn't see the government doing half as much as what these nonprofit community gardens were doing. So I kind of got very interested in nonprofits and urban agriculture and community gardens because, let's face it, a huge portion, I think the largest portion of our carbon CO2 emissions comes from agriculture and transportation. And then probably the number one biggest is both of those combined, which is food miles traveled. Where do your bananas grow that you buy? They don't grow in your neighboring city. They grow halfway across the globe, in Ecuador, in Guatemala, in South America. Where do your mangoes come from? They come all the way from Thailand. That is so many miles that your mangoes traveled to get to your local Whole Foods or Safeway or Save Mart or whatever grocery store you go to. It's just so unsustainable. Yes, we are so privileged that the modern agriculture system allows us to eat any food from any season at any time from any part of the world. And at what cost? And at what cost? Because the emissions are crazy. So I don't know how to wrap up this video, because now I am working for the woman who founded the community garden nonprofit that I wrote my master's thesis about. It was the heart of my thesis, and she continues to inspire me every day. We're doing a lot of environmental advocacy work. We have an initiative called the Build 25, and I think that will probably be my next YouTube video that I post on environment and sustainability, because we are doing a lot. We're doing a lot out here in California, and we need as many people on board with our mission as possible. And so since I'm learning to use my voice, and since I'm building this platform, and since I'm building this community, it's only right that I start to talk about it on here, because this is high-key my life's work. I think I should make a YouTube video just on community gardens, and how it was a very full circle moment for me in urban planning. And then number 2, I need to make a video on the Build 25 initiative. I need to make a video about how you can get involved and how you can help us out. I need to make a video about my dreams and my vision and the blueprint that I got for our sustainable cities when I did a light code meditation at a festival a few months back. This is my true passion. Spirituality has been a key in my life. It has been probably the thing I'm second most passionate about, or third most passionate about. But environmentalism and sustainability and saving the damn planet, that's what we need to do. That's what I feel very, 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 very called to do with my life, with my career. And so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Do you care about the earth? Do you want to save the earth with me? Please comment yes if you do, if you're on board, and I will keep talking about it, but please give me some positive reassurance that this is a topic that you guys want to hear about, because this is my first video on this channel talking about environment and sustainability. So I really hope that it resonates with some of you guys, and or all of you, because we really are going to need everyone if we're going to save the planet and do the damn thing. All right. I hope I left you with some inspiration, with some new knowledge. I just am feeling really grateful for all of my subscribers and watchers. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Again, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on Pearls of Wisdom.